Hey everyone, Brandon Palaniuk here, and I'm going to give you guys a quick little tip or more of a reasoning on why I run the leader length that I do. I get that question all the time of, you always run flash green smackdown braid, Brandon. How long is your Tatsu leader? Well, when I explain that to people, they ask why. And there's a lot of guys that'll like to have their knot outside of their spool. But as you can see right here, I actually hold my knot inside the spool. And the reason for that is when I'm trying to land a fish, and I never want to grab the line when I'm fighting a fish, and so I'll use my right hand to control the rod, and I'll kind of just guide the fish. And as I'm doing that, a lot of times those fish will surge at the boat, and what I want is I want that line to come nice and smooth and have that knot run straight off the spool and through those guides. What can happen is if you have this knot outside, say this knot gets up close to this guide, and when that fish creates slack, it can create a loop, because what happens, you're meshing those two lines together, right? Your braid to your Tatsu leader, and they're both extremely limp lines. So the Tatsu and that smackdown braid are really limp. Well, that knot creates a stiff spot, and if that gets around your guide, it could wrap up if a fish throws slack. So anytime I can keep that knot inside my spool when I'm fighting those fish, it just gives me a better chance of allowing that knot to move freely through. Now, you may be thinking, well, can't that knot get stuck in the spool? I have never had that issue happen. So it's what I call crazy Alberto knot. It's a tiny, tiny little knot. It's nearly the same diameter as that braid and Tatsu. And I cut the tag ends completely off. So the tag ends are cut as close as possible to that knot. And that really keeps it from having anything to hang up on. It's a very smooth knot, smooth drag, and it allows it to just shoot right through those guides if I ever get a fish that wants to dive right next to the boat. So that's why I end up running that length of leader that I do. It's around 10 to 12 feet, and keeping that knot inside your spool.